Sometimes the hardest part of dating isn't rejection, it's confusion. It's when someone doesn't say, "I'm not interested," but also doesn't show that they are. They stay close enough to keep you hopeful, but distant enough to never commit. And instead of clarity, you get excuses. Excuses that sound reasonable, excuses that sound mature, excuses that make you question yourself instead of their intentions. So today, let's talk about the top excuses men give that are actually code for "I'm not interested." Not because men are bad, but because clarity saves hearts. And if you've ever found yourself waiting, hoping, or overthinking, this is for you. Let's start with the most common one. "I'm just really busy right now." At first, this sounds normal. Life gets busy, work gets stressful, people have responsibilities, so you understand. You give space. You don't want to be demanding, but days pass, then weeks, and somehow they're always busy when it comes to you, but never too busy for everything else. Here's the truth that hurts a little. People make time for what matters to them. Busy doesn't mean unavailable. Busy just means you're not a priority. If someone is interested, you'll feel it, even in small ways. A short message, a check-in, effort that says, "I'm thinking of you." When someone is truly interested, busyness doesn't erase intention. So when "I'm busy" becomes permanent, it's not about time, it's about interest. Next excuse, "I'm not ready for a relationship right now." This one sounds honest, even responsible, and sometimes it is true. But here's what matters most. When a man says he's not ready for a relationship, he usually means he's not ready for a relationship with you. Because watch closely, he's still dating, still flirting, still enjoying emotional or physical closeness. He just doesn't want commitment, not because he's broken, but because he doesn't feel motivated enough. Readiness isn't a time thing, it's a feeling thing. Men become ready when they meet someone they don't want to lose. So when you hear this, don't try to prove you're worth waiting for. Believe him and protect your heart. Another common one, "I don't want to hurt you." This one sounds caring, gentle, almost selfless. But what it really means is, "I don't want to feel guilty while I disappoint you." Because if someone truly didn't want to hurt you, they wouldn't keep you emotionally close without clarity. They wouldn't give mixed signals. They wouldn't let you hope while knowing they won't show up fully. This excuse is often used to soften rejection, not avoid pain, and it leaves you stuck between hope and heartbreak. Here's another one many people hear. "Let's just see how things go." This sounds relaxed, natural, easy, but over time it becomes a waiting room. No direction, no progress, no clarity. You're expected to stay emotionally available while they decide how they feel, and that's not fair. When someone is interested, they don't want to risk losing you by being vague. They don't want to see how it goes, they want to move forward. "Let's see how it goes" often means, "I like the attention, but I'm not choosing you." Next excuse, "I've been hurt before." This one pulls at your heart. You feel empathy. You want to be patient. You want to show them not everyone leaves. And compassion is beautiful, but pain doesn't stop interest. Plenty of people have been hurt and still show up fully when they care. Past hurt can explain behavior, but it doesn't excuse emotional unavailability. If someone is interested, they'll still try, even gently. They won't use their past as a reason to keep you at arm's length while benefiting from your presence. Another one, "I don't want labels." This sounds modern, flexible, low pressure, but labels aren't the problem. Commitment is. Labels simply describe what already exists. If someone avoids labels, they're often avoiding responsibility, clarity, and expectations. They want the benefits of closeness without accountability, and you deserve more than ambiguity. Here's a very subtle one. "You deserve better than me." This sounds like humility, like honesty, but it's usually a quiet exit. They're telling you they're not willing to rise to what you need. Believe them. Don't argue with someone who's telling you they won't show up. Then there's this one. "I'm just going through a lot right now." Life happens. People struggle. But emotional availability doesn't disappear during hard times. It reveals itself. If someone is interested, they'll still lean in, not disappear. They may not be perfect, but they'll be present. If hardship becomes a permanent excuse, it's not about timing, it's about interest. Here's a big one many ignore: inconsistent behavior. No excuse, just actions. Some days they're warm, some days they're distant. They reach out when they want attention. They disappear when you need clarity. Inconsistency is an answer. Interest doesn't confuse, it reassures. And the most painful excuse of all: silence. No explanation, no closure, just distance. Silence is communication, and it often means I don't want to have the uncomfortable conversation. Here's the hardest truth to accept. When someone is interested, you don't have to decode their behavior. You don't have to overthink messages. You don't have to guess where you stand. You don't need to lower your expectations to keep them. Interest is felt. It shows up in consistency, in effort, in clarity. Excuses are not always lies, but they are often avoidance. And understanding that is not about blaming anyone. It's about choosing yourself. You don't need to convince someone to want you. You don't need to wait for potential. You don't need to accept confusion as love. You deserve someone who is clear, even when it's uncomfortable. Someone who doesn't leave you guessing. Someone who doesn't hide behind excuses. And if you've ever stayed too long trying to understand someone who wasn't choosing you, be gentle with yourself. You weren't foolish, you were hopeful. But now you're learning. And learning brings clarity. Clarity brings peace, and peace will always feel better than waiting for someone who isn't coming. If you're listening to this and it hit close to home, take a breath. You're not alone, and you don't need to chase clarity anymore. You just need to choose yourself.